Welcome to the first ever video in the Rapid Ranking series. I am your host, Jackaloop, and today we are in this episode, we are going to be ranking every SML video from February. As always, I'm going to link SML's channel down in the description. Go check them out and show them some love. But first, before we get into the video, I'm going to pass it over to Editing Jackaloop so he can explain briefly what this series is. Thanks, Jackaloop. I'm Editing Jackaloop, coming at you to briefly explain what Rapid Rankings is. Rapid Rankings is a series I have here on my channel where I rank a group of things. So, how I do it is I go to a website named PubMeeple, I paste in a list of all the stuff I'm going to rank, and then it randomly generates different matchups. I pick which one I like better, and then it generates a list. It generates a ranking list for that stuff, and then I go in, and then I readjust some things if I don't agree with them, or I readjust them to however I want, and then, so, sometimes, if I describe what I like and don't like, it may sound like here's an example. Let's say I rank one thing, and I have, like, multiple good things that I liked about it, but then there's, like, one bad thing they didn't like about it, and it's at, like, the end of the list. Or, like, if what I say contradicts the placements, that is why. So, yeah, if you have any critiques, just leave them down in the comments, and I will read them, and if you have any ideas, post them down in the comments as well. Alright, that's Editing Jackaloop, signing off. Back to you, Jackaloop. Without a further ado, let's get into episode 1 of Rapid Rankings, ranking every SML video from February, starting off with number 11. Number 11, Goodman's Cat. So, while I find it hard to put Goodman's Cat at the bottom, I think it was a fine video, but there were just too many problems with it not to put it at the worst video. I mean, the plot, it's bad. It's just bad. There's easy fixes. They don't do the easy fix, of course. So let's start out with what the video is about. The video is Goodman drops off a cat for Marvin to watch. Then the cat runs under a table, and they spend the entire time trying to get it out of underneath the table, but they can't, so then they call Brooklyn guy, who tries a bunch of different things, which don't work. So then, at some point, the cat gets turned into a coat after Brooklyn guy gets him out, and then Goodman comes back. He's like, hey, where's my cat? And then Marvin just gives him the jacket, and then he's like, what? So that is basically what the video is about. The plot. I think the plot is dumb, because it's such an easy fix. All you have to do, you can move the table with the cat underneath it, or you can wait till Goodman gets there, call him upstairs, and then see if he can get his cat out. And if it doesn't, move the table. It's an easy fix. Some of the, ways that Brooklyn guy came up with how to try and get the cat out were kind of funny. And then the ending was pretty funny as well. So that's why I think it's hard to put it at the bottom, but I do. I also want to include, that the, bit where they're high, that's been included a bunch. It's getting a bit old for me. I mean, it was kind of funny. It's kind of funny, because it's kind of funny to see them like that, but it's also, like, getting a bit, repetitive. So, I also wanted to include that. Number 10, the ticket problem. While I think this video is fine, better than Goodman's Cat, it didn't have a lot to it, so putting it here at the second worst video is where I'm going to place it. Like I said, it just didn't have a lot to it. So basically, the plot is that Goodman gives Marvin tickets to the Super Bowl because he realized they weren't the tickets he wanted, and then he doesn't know who to take with him to the Super Bowl, since he has two tickets. But then Dougie wants them. He finds out that Dougie likes the Chiefs, so he wants to go. And then he also finds out that Brooklyn guy wants to go because he met this one girl and she really likes the Chiefs. So if he could get tickets to the Super Bowl where the Chiefs are playing, then, yeah. But, so they have so Dougie and the Brooklyn guy have a battle where to find out who gets the tickets, and Brooklyn guy cheats his way through and wins. Then once they get to the Super Bowl, he finds out that they weren't like seats tickets. I forget which kind of tickets they were, but they weren't the right tickets, so they aren't. So they can't come. So they can't go in to watch the game. So then he goes back to the house, and then the video finishes with that, with them watching the Super Bowl. So I think this video, I mean, the plot isn't bad. It just wasn't great. So that's why I said it just wasn't, there just wasn't a lot to it. So putting it at number 10, I think, is a good place. Number 9, Jeffy gets knocked out. So this time I will actually say this video wasn't great, but I found more parts funny, and I felt like it was, better than the ticket problem in Goodman's Cat. So the plot is Jeffy so Marvin is sick, so they have to go to the doctor. So they put Jeffy in a kennel or they put Jeffy in like a cat carrier for some reason. And then Junior, Joseph, and Cody want to play dodgeball. So they let Jeffy out, and then they play dodgeball. Jeffy gets knocked out, and then they just so then they try to find out how to wake him up, and then they do, and then that's it. So by that description, it probably doesn't sound great. It wasn't. That's why this video is at number 9. It just isn't that good. The plot is fine, but it just felt weird the entire time. Like, it just felt off, I think is a good word to describe this video. It's just off. It was just not my kind of video, I think. Number 8, Jeffy the Sketch Artist. Jeffy the Sketch Artist is a fine video. It can be repetitive at some times. Pretty funny, but I think I think that they just should have took down like a couple of the times of like the repetitivity, which it shows that he's still drawing Marvin in all these situations and stuff. But I just think it could be a bit less repetitive. So the plot is Jeffy gets hired by the police to be the sketch artist. Then a bunch of people come in with stories, and then he draws them. And Marvin tells him, because he usually draws animal bodies with people's heads on them, so then he draws a picture with just a human body of Marvin, and then he's like, is this right? And then Marvin's like, yep, draw that every time. And then he's like, every time? So then he takes the assumption that he draws him every single time. So then he does, and then he keeps getting convicted and going to court, which Judge Poobie is great, of course. But then he just keeps going back to court, and until he finds out, after Brooklyn guy describes somebody that looks nothing like Marvin, and then he still draws Marvin, that's what's been going on, so he gets let go, and then the video ends. So, yeah, it's a fine video. I mean, it's like I said, it could have been, the repetitivity could have been less. excuse me, Rosalina was also kind of annoying in this video, so I think it might have I think it could have went higher if Rosalina was a bit more understanding and less repetitivity. Number 7, Cody's Hot Potion. So, I think this video, it would have been good and would have been higher on the list had not been for the ending. The ending just ruined it for me. So, basically the plot is Cody comes over and he has a potion that's almost complete that's gonna get rid of his pimples, his glasses, his yellow teeth, like all the ugly stuff, as it entails the hot potion's gonna make him hot, whatever. But he has one ingredient that he can't get, and it's a really difficult one to get, but then they turn on Dr. Finkelschitz, and he has that ingredient, so then they break into his quote-unquote lab, which we find out is just his mom's basement, and then while they're there, Jeffy sets off a chemical reaction, which makes Cody panic and grab the wrong ingredient, which is a dangerous ingredient, so when he mixes it in and drinks it, the front of his face blows off, reveals a bunch of fluff and stuff. I also want to include that the character, how Cody looks in there, is actually kind of cool. It's actually a kind of cool character design. Anyways, so then they try and get eyes for him, and then the doctor comes over and fixes him, gets new eyes, and then the eyes work somehow, because they're just Mr. Potato eyes, but anyways. But then, here's where it gets dumb. The ending. Cody knows how to make a potion that will reverse everything. But, they're really difficult ingredients to get. So, Cody's just like, we've been at it all night. This is breaking the fourth wall. We've been at it all night. It's like 3 a.m., which I understand. Like, if you're working that long, it can get very tiresome. But I feel like you could have done something else. Like I said, I kind of understand it. It would be lower if it was just like we didn't want to figure out an ending, which is what they did, but they were working on it for a long time. Anyways, so then they just snap their fingers, and then they get all the stuff. Everything reverts back to normal. And then they also show a Nintendo animation with everything that happened. So, like I said, I liked the video. It was pretty funny. Just the ending ruined it for me. Otherwise, I would have put it higher. Number 6, Brooklyn Guy's Guilt. Now, I think this video is fine. I know I keep saying that a lot, but I think, I do think it's fine. There's like a thing that I didn't like about it, but I think that there are videos that are better this month. Or last month, I guess I should say. So basically the plot is Brooklyn Guy stays up late, and even though he's on call with the fire department, so he misses a call from the fire chief in which 50 people die in a fire, which he could have helped stop. So then he's sad, and he goes to his other jobs, and then the jokes are kind of funny, like the plane scene is pretty funny. But then he later finds out that they were shot before, so it wasn't his fault that they all died. So then he's happy, and then they're gonna go undercover to catch the guy who shot all the people. But then Brooklyn Guy misses it because he was watching the Heat game, so he didn't learn anything in the end. So like I said, I like this video. It was funny. It's a good video, but the one thing I didn't like was that he didn't learn anything. I mean, it's funny. It shows that he just doesn't, it just shows. So there wasn't a lot wrong with the video. Just I think there are better videos. Number 5, Jeffy's Eggs. So the plot of Jeffy's Eggs is Jeffy finds eggs in the bathtub, to which then they call an egg spurt, and throws one out the window because it might be a bomb, which that's not really important to the plot. But anyways, he tells them that since, dinosaurs are extinct, if they break them or sell them or lose them, they could be in big trouble. But then Dougie comes and because he wants Marvin to buy him Hogwarts Legacy, which is a new Harry Potter game. So then Dougie finds out that the eggs are valuable, and so of course he tries to steal them. So then they spend the rest of the video basically Dougie trying to steal it and Marvin stopping him because, they can't lose the eggs because otherwise they'll go to jail, and Dougie trying to get them because they're worth money. But in the end, Brooklyn guy finds out that they're valuable, so then they try and go sell them, but then the lone dolphin / black market dealer guy says this is just a science kit thing, and then, yeah, that's about it. So I liked this video. I think it was an overall good video. It made me laugh multiple times out loud. Also, Booger was there, which a lot of people think that Booger is like was very annoying in this video, but I thought he was kind of funny. So I think it was just an overall good and funny video. Number 4, Dunkin' Donuts. So the plot for this video is Cody gets Dunkin' Donuts, then he spills the coffee on Ken's feet, which melts them, so then he launches a lawsuit against Dunkin' Donuts, to which he wins, but instead of taking the, $1 million or something, Brooklyn guy takes the mystery box that Judge Poobie also offered. And it ends up just being a, half-eaten box of Dunkin' Donuts. So then Cody's upset, but then the doctor, as, a gift, because he's, sorry for, picking that thing over the, $1 million, he, fixes Ken's leg, or he gives Ken new legs, and then the video basically just ends there. So I thought this video, it was funny, of course. The court videos are usually pretty funny. I mean, you got Judge Poobie, Mr. Goodman, Brooklyn guy, all in the same room. It usually ends up in a good mix, but, so, and I also liked the inclusion of Ken in the title. It was pretty smart. So yeah, that's about it. Number 3, the spy balloon. So the plot for this video is Cody brings over this rocket toy that you stomp on, and then it shoots up into the air. So then they take it outside and accidentally pop a Chinese spy balloon, to which then the United States is like, whoa, these kids shot down a missile that we didn't even know about. So then they fire everybody at NORAD, which is I think the U.S.'s missile defense team, I think, but I could be wrong. Probably am. But then they hire the 3 kids to do it, and then China sends a nuke to San Francisco, to which they obviously can't defend against it. So then San Francisco gets nuked, they get their medals of honor taken away from them, and they get fired, and then the video basically ends there. So, the video was good. The video was good, all in all. The only thing that I didn't like was that they fired the entire team for 3 kids, which obviously wouldn't be what would happen, but other than that, it's a good video. Number 2, Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is based off the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, where Junior's Day repeats on Groundhog's Day. It just keeps repeating over and over and over again. And then it keeps happening, and then the only way he's able to reverse it is by being nice to everybody, for a day, and then what she does, and then it goes back to normal. That's literally it. That's not a long... I mean, I could go into more detail, but it's basically what the plot is. So, I thought this video, it's a good idea. It was a long video, which, again, when it's a long video with this kind of format, there's going to be repetitivity, but I feel like they could have done 2 or even just 1 less cycle, and it would have been even better. But I feel like it was still a pretty good video. It's still a pretty good video. So, yeah, moving on to number 1. Number 1, Air Bud. Air Bud, another sports video. I love these sports videos. I'm a big sports fan, and all these sports videos, like the T-Ball Championship, and the other ones, and this one, I really enjoyed them. They were really good. So, the plot of this one is, there's a coach who's about to get fired, which is a Brooklyn guy, because his team is 0-10. If they lose again, he's going to get fired. Excuse me. And then their best player gets injured, and like their only good player. And then Cody finds, and then Brooklyn guy has to find a new player for his team. So, and then on the other side, Cody, a stray dog follows him, and then Cody like bounces it off the dog's head and then makes it. And then Junior's like, whoa, this dog's really good at basketball. And Cody's like, no, I just bounced it off his head. But, so then he uploaded it online. And then Brooklyn guy sees that and he's like, that dog's good at basketball. So then they pick him up for the team and he doesn't do anything. So then they end up winning the game as Poobie comes back even when he's injured. And, oh yeah, and then the dog runs away in the middle of it, but it doesn't matter. They end up winning, and then he gets to keep his job. And that's about it. So, this video, I feel very comfortable putting at number 1. These sports videos are always good. This video was no exception. Sorry for the loud banging. I'm fidgeting with like a die, and it keeps hitting my desk. Anyways, I feel very comfortable putting this at number 1. Very solid video. Great idea, which it is just based off of the movie Air Bud, but it's still good. Like, it's not like it's copying it. Well, it is copying, or no, it's not actually copying it, because Junior says, what if this dog's good? And then he's like, no, it's a dog. He's like, but what about Air Bud? So, it's not like it was based directly off of it, but that's what it was, made because of. So the plot was good, and execution great. So this was just a really good video. So that is every SML video from the month of February. This month did not pack that big of a punch. I mean, it was fine. I'd say about a 65% overall. I liked some of the videos. Some of the videos were just dumb. Like I said in my intro video, which you should go watch, it's kind of hard for me to give a lot of critiqueful stuff, because it's just not what I do. So I didn't say that I didn't like a lot, except like Goodman's Cat, or The Ticket Problem. Those two just weren't great. But yeah, so that will end it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go check out SML's channel. They will be down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, leaving a like would be gratefully appreciated. And if you enjoy this kind of content, subscribing and ringing the post notification bell will notify you when I upload next week. So, I'm your host, as always, Jackaloop, signing off till next week, where I will rank all 5 of the regions in US. Alright, see ya.